lose most everything I have physically because I'm dealing with the people at taxaudit.com, and they're representing me and dealing with the IRS, who is auditing me for the last 3 years. Now, this is how I operate business. What I do with my YouTube channels, or what I've done in the last few years, is I've invested most every penny I have, the majority of my income, in more business. I bought a lot of things related to business. I've invested in properties for business. I've done a ton of crap, thinking to myself, if I was audited, could I explain this to an auditor? And I always bought things based on that logic. Could I explain it to an auditor? I had been audited in 2011, and I didn't have receipts at the time, so I issued them credit card reports to prove that transactions occurred as I said they occurred. They did not question those, or they did not give me a hard time about those. They're like, okay, credit card reports, it's fine. Now that they're auditing me for a full 3 years, they're going to invalidate, most likely, my business card, because I didn't get this. I didn't log the starting mileage and ending mileage, as well as the address I drove to every single time I drove anywhere. I didn't log those things. Nobody told me to log those things. I never got a formal education on taxes at all. I use TurboTax, by the way. So this is a warning to anyone using TurboTax. They don't educate you on what you need to know or the stuff that you need to have in order to claim certain things. So you have me dumping the majority of my cash into business, and then you have the IRS coming after me for the majority of the money that I already put into business. Okay, so they're trying to take a chunk of cash that is not mine. It's gone. It's invested in advertising and other services and talent, etc., and cameras, computer equipment, and again, like sets and props, etc. So I keep getting these lists, and I work 7 days a week on videos. So I can entertain my patrons on patreon.com/Onision, and so I can entertain people on my YouTube channels. Now, people are mad because my main channel is a paid channel now, and they say I'm money hungry. If anything, it's more like I'm money desperate, because I have just the most insane wave coming to wipe out my life. The IRS is saying that, or at least that appears to be what they're saying, that if I don't have receipts for every single claim that I have made, as far as I just assumed the credit card statements would work. I figured, those are honest, those are black and white, straightforward, and that's fine. I also sent them, Amazon lists of all my Amazon expenses and wrote next to them what each thing was. I also did PayPal, what each thing was. For 3 full years, somehow I've managed to do this and upload videos daily to my patrons and upload videos daily to my subscribers. I've done all these things for months now. And now they're saying hundreds of thousands of dollars, based on what I saw, are invalid expenses unless I provide receipts. Hundreds of thousands of dollars will make me lose my house, make me lose my cars, make me lose everything I work for. If I lose these things, what do I have to show for the last 10 years? Of me being a YouTuber, other than these videos that people aren't even allowed to watch anymore because I'm being algorithmically demoted. Or I just suck, I can't prove definitively which it is. Like I was doing great for 10 years, and then Adpocalypse hit and my channel magically plummeted after 10 years of consistent views. And on top of that, Adpocalypse is paying me 1/10 of what I used to make. So if you're making, say, $10,000 a month, you're now making $1,000 a month. And guess what? Life for most people costs more than $1,000 a month in America. Now you may say, oh, you got your Patreon to support you. Yes, I do. It gets me by right now. But this tidal wave of about, I don't know how much are they going to charge me for 3 years on an income I don't even make anymore. I probably make 1/10 of what I used to make. So let's see, I'm going to get hit with a bill that's probably like, I don't know, if they invalidate all my receipts, it could be anywhere from $100,000 to $400,000. I can't live in this house anymore. I have to sell this house if that's the case. And who knows if it's going to sell because it's going to be in the winter time when I would have to move. So it's probably going to drag out. I'll have crippling bills I can't pay. And all the while, I'm just trying to make people laugh. I'm just trying to entertain people. You know, you may say these are first world problems. I don't see how losing your house is a first world problem. I don't see how working for 10 years straight to achieve these things, working every day for 10 years straight, I maybe had a total of a month's worth over 10 years of days of not working, scattered about. And now the IRS is going to try and destroy me because I don't have more than credit card statements. And I didn't log every single time I drove a car and said the address I went to every single time. And they also want to know every single time I had a business meal with somebody, what our conversations were at those business meals over the last 3 years. As if, like, what's the point of a business credit card if you have to prove your transactions? Shouldn't it be self-evident based on your consistency? Like, they haven't caught me in a single lie because I don't lie. But that's not good enough for the IRS. You know, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. That's the opposite of America. Or at least, you know, America's bullshit, if you think about it. Like, we contradict ourselves so much. We are so full of crap. You know, like, I joined the Air Force a long time ago thinking, we're a great country. We're just saving the world from themselves. And then I go to South Korea, and I see that these people are just as good, if not better than us. Lose my will to fight. And then I see this too, where we're literally eating our own. People they know goddamn well are telling the truth because I've proven every single piece of evidence, every document I've had that I've found that's relevant, I've sent to them. They have 3 different massive cases of documents proving what I'm saying is true. But they're like, but you don't have the receipt for this thing over here. You don't have that. So that must mean all of these transactions are total lies. Even though you've proven all these other transactions, these ones are just automatically lies. We haven't caught you in a single lie, but we're going to call someone who's been nothing but honest a liar because that's how the fucking IRS works. So as you know, I have a family. Okay, this isn't just me. So on September 11th, good date to pick a house tour, they're going to walk through my house, they're going to see my fucking family, and they're going to see the people that they are kicking out of. They're gonna walk through this fucking house and see the life that they're destroying because I don't fucking have these receipts. Anyway, so to everyone on Patreon, thank you for trying to help me. I'm going to continue trying to make videos to entertain you every fucking day. Thank you.
Well, Onision, I've heard a lot of things about you. One of the things I've heard when it comes to finances anyways, it sounds to me like you've lived beyond your means. It sounds to me like you've been living beyond your means for quite some time. You have multiple cars, you have multiple houses, and you said you didn't even know, no one ever told you that you have to log mileage on your cars, for example, on a car that you're writing off, and you didn't keep receipts for everything. As someone who is self-employed by YouTube, and as someone who is making a lot of money and doing a lot of write-offs and all that, why did you not educate yourself on tax laws, educate yourself on the IRS, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're not supposed to be doing, instead of coming on YouTube looking for sympathy for a situation that it is my belief you put yourself in. If you're making $10,000 a month, live within your means. Live as if you're making, say, $7,000 a month. If you're only making $3,000 a month, live as if you're making $2,000 a month. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of your labor. But you know what they say, everything that goes up must come down. And it sounds to me like your career might be coming down. This happens to people all over the world, all over America, all over Canada, all over the world, all the time, where for whatever reason they end up losing their career, they end up being laid off, they end up being fired, company closes down, business goes bankrupt, whatever. And they just had to pick up the pieces and start all over again. It sounds to me like you're living outside your means, and maybe you weren't, in my opinion, being as responsible as you should have been. Also, another thing, Onision, from what I hear, it sounds like you have wronged a lot of people. So, like going through the comments section on this particular video that Onision made, I'm falling apart, I'm sorry, Onision speaks. Going through the comments section, there's many other people that share the same sentiment as me, that they don't feel sorry for you. That, maybe this might be karma coming back to bite you in the butt. Like some of the people I've heard that you've wronged, there are people this is what I've heard anyways, what my belief is, for people such as Jacqueline Glenn, Social Repose, Mr. Repsion. And it's even my understanding that at one point you had many videos on your channel saying things about Eugenia Cooney that even on at least one occasion drove her to tears. In my opinion, that is called bullying, Onision. Like, I don't know if Onision still has those videos about Eugenia Cooney, but from all accounts, Eugenia Cooney seems to be a very nice person, at least from what I've seen of her in her videos. And you just, in my opinion, took the opportunity to bully her. Now, one of Onision's channels, because he's so money desperate, is a paid channel. Well, let this be a lesson to people out there. Number one, again, live within your means. Be responsible with money. Don't count your chickens before your eggs have hatched. Don't just assume that the gravy train is going to be flowing forever full of money, because that gravy train can derail at any moment without warning. Like me, I've been laid off from many jobs. Actually, I've been laid off from 5 consecutive jobs through no fault of my own. And I was laid off and qualified for unemployment insurance as a result of being laid off. Through no fault of my own, I wasn't fired. It happens to me, and it happens to people all over the world, all the time, every day. Save money for a rainy day. You never know when that rainy day will come. And as for the way you treat people, well, treat people the way that you wish to be treated. Maybe had you not been wronged so many people in the past, then maybe some of these same people might be willing to lend you a helping hand in a time of need, such as now. And by the way, that crying at the end, I question whether or not you were genuinely crying. I didn't happen to notice any tears. This is just my opinion of Onision. I'm not defaming Onision in any way, shape, or form. This is just strictly my opinion and things that I have heard said about Onision.